Welcome to another exciting edition of Ice Right. This week, like we said earlier, we take Benedict back to the classroom. We're going back to the right to education. Benedict's right to education has been fulfilled thanks to a philanthropist. But beyond that, how do we ensure that the many children who loiter on our street enjoy their right to education? How do we ensure that the many children that I have seen in the Adan district enjoy their right to education? This is Ice Right. He is central to his mother's oyster business. Call it child labor. He doesn't even mind. He only wants to go to school. Benedict feels so close to formal education, but that has been kept so far from him. This was Benedict's previous story. He and his siblings had been left at home processing oysters for the market when school was in session. Two of them had not been to school in a very long time, whilst two claimed they had permission from school to stay at home. Checks with the school authorities indicated that the entire family owed over 700 cedis at the time the story was filed in 2014, hence their inability to turn up at school. A philanthropist who would rather not appear on camera, Kakra Opokwe-Jakwa, was moved after he first saw the story on Ice Right. He sought to know more about the story. Kakra donated 1,000 cedis to clear the debts of the entire family. Tracing the family to hand over the money was difficult. On our visit to the house, there was no life there this time round, and the rooms were empty. We learned that the entire family was relocated a few days after the team filmed the children working on the oysters. They had been moved to an unknown destination. Neighbors who had had their share of blame and accusation from mother of the children would not give any information except to say the family has moved. We gradually made our way through town with bits and pieces of information which we put together till we finally drew closer to their new destination in a vicinity called Asarimano. School uniforms had been prepared. School reopens the next day, and apparently their mother was preparing to allow them go to school. The fees owed the school at this moment was still outstanding. The mother was very accommodating. It was as though she was expecting us. She was happy, or at least appeared happy, when we told her the family is getting 1,000 Ghana cedis for school fees. On my mobile phone, she expressed her heartfelt gratitude to Kakra Opokwe-Jakwa, the philanthropist.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
She told me her sister abroad pays the fees of her children, but has some difficulties within the period. Even more confusing, she asked if the philanthropist could continue paying the fees since he has shown interest in the children. Her reason for not taking advantage of the free education being provided for in the government school was the frequent strike action by teachers and, in her words, a low standard of quality in free education. I informed her that keeping the children at home, irrespective of the good intention, is a violation of their right and an act against the Constitution of Ghana. Benedict, on the other hand, was a happy boy that morning, although a little shy.
But I'm feeling good. God bless me.
At the end of our discussion, I assured the mother the money will be delivered to school authorities the following day. But she later said she wasn't sure about airing her interview on TV. Our duty was simple: to deliver the fees and be sure that Benedict and his siblings received the attention they needed at school. High Class Academy was our next destination. Benedict was already in school and seemed to be already enjoying the company he almost lost. School authorities told us that many of children here have similar stories to tell. This phenomenon makes it difficult for the school to give their teachers the necessary incentives and to completely furbish the school.
Okay, let's clap for her.
Gideon Agbashi is headmaster of the school. He was obviously happy about the turn of event. He was also happy the children can return to school and now the school is 1,000 cedis richer. He intends to engage the parents further on this issue.
Well, I think that we would have to take it upon ourselves as a school to ensure that the children come to school. Once the children are not in school, I would not really know what the situation would be. And so I see it to be a responsibility on my part to try to appeal to the minds of the parents to ensure that the children come to school. You know, funny enough, some of them or someone would want to, or the parent might decide to withdraw the children from the school and take the children to the government sector. But I think that with proper education given to the parents, I don't see why the children should not come to school. Maybe the children might feel reluctant in coming to school because at a point in time, if the parents are unable to continue to pay the fees, they may feel that they're going to be sacked and other things would try to deter them from coming to the school. And I think that on that score, the school should also learn its own lessons. The school should, in as much as we need the money, the school should sometimes try to sympathize with the children. What I would say is that it boils down to the parents. We would have to call the parents, talk to them, let them know what is required of them. And I think that afterwards, they should take up the responsibility of paying their fees. Even if they will not be able to pay the entire fees at a goal, I think paying the monies in bits will help than not paying anything at all.
The amount could have paid off Benedict's debt and still take him through to the junior high school. But Kakra Opoku-Ejiakwa opted to offset the entire bill of the family, which at the time of this follow-up amounted to over 900 cedis. It was refreshing to know that their mother had already thought of sending them back to school after the story aired, but it was better that she could get a little financial push for violating, which has mostly been the excuse for parents who violate the right to education of their children. At least the right to education for Benedict and his siblings would be given much serious attention. But Benedict and his siblings are not the only ones in this. And indeed, a little help to push up the family to deliver on its financial obligations is an accepted norm in the Ghanaian culture. But according to the laws of the land, it is a violation if it stands in the way of enjoying any of their childhood rights. How do we ensure that the many children that we have seen in the Adan district working or loitering in the street enjoy their right to education? We've been engaging the Social Welfare Department. They've been telling us a lot of interesting things. We've also been engaging the Chief Executive Officer of the Agda district because that is where the resources are supposed to come and help the social welfare deliver on their mandate. Like I said earlier on, they've been telling us a lot of interesting things and I'm sure you will love to know. To ensure that Benedict's presence in the classroom is not a 9-day wonder, we went seeking answers with the local government authority. Situated close to the beach is the Adan District Assembly, which houses and has oversight responsibility over the Social Welfare Department. Here, it is evident that the ill-resourced social welfare outfit itself is struggling with resources. Senior officer at the department, Emily Amejo, however, assured that Benedict and his siblings will stay in the classroom.
There are quite a number of children in your jurisdiction who are not in school. As a social worker, what do you say about that phenomenon?
You know, formally there's a lot of problem here. Child trafficking, UNDP, we have UN, they are supporting us. We went for a lot of workshop. After the workshop, we came out with a work plan. We go to the community, educate, to organize a meeting with the community members and talk to them that sending their children to Akosombo to go and fish, using their children for child labor is not good. Okay. So we do a lot of education, advocacy for the parents.
What was in the plan, action plan that you came up with? What was in it?
The action plan, we say we'll visit the communities, all the communities. We plan to visit the community to organize the parents, as well as the parents, those who are involved, so that we educate them. And even the children, we educate the children. We go to the schools to educate the children in the schools. But if they don't go to school, your fellow children are going to school. Why not you also go to school? You know, the men, The men, always the women are talking to the men are not giving them money. It's a whole lot of issue. The men are not helping them. So we also talk to the men. You know, we have a club called Daddy's Club. They have organized that club, men club, as a daddy club. So that we'll be talking to them gradually. So that once you've given birth, you don't have to throw the child away. You have to take care of the child.
Right.
And you should know the number of children you have to give. If you are giving plenty, at times when you go to one of the communities, 30 years we have about 6 children. Why are you sending the children to? Why? How are you going to take care of that children? 6. She said the man is with another wife too. Other children. So how are you going?
As a social welfare department, what statistics do you have about the population here and about maybe the number of children who you have here so that you can know if somebody is not going to school or not?
No, as for that we don't have.
Okay.
We are now coming to work on that so that we know the number of children. For instance, when you take this community, how many children are there? When you take another community, you know how many children, so that you know the number of children that are not going to school, the number of children who are going to school.
Right.
So later I think we will do that.
How soon do you intend to
No, we
do
are in
this?
2015. I think we will start very soon.
Do you have links with the social, the registry of deaths and births?
Yes.
What kind of relationship do you have with them?
At times when we are going to the field, we invite them. And we go to them together once a while, not every day, because it's only one man office.
Do you have any system where you follow up on the children?
Yes, we have a system. You know, when there's a problem there, she brings the problem here. And even the parents, the deaf and birth, bring the problem here. And even the parents, when there's a problem, they bring the problem to the office. Then we'll do follow-up, we'll do investigation. We'll go and find out what was the problem. Then if there's a problem with the parents, then we'll solve it together with them.
So so it means that the social welfare here operates when you only operate when a problem is reported to you?
No, we go to the field. Once we go to the field, the problem also comes. And there's some people that you see the lady you met, when there's a problem, she's always in the office. Me, I like going to the field a lot because it's my work.
And when you go to the field, what do you do?
No, I educate the parents. When there's a problem, I push them to come to the office. We have the court. We have somebody who is at the court when there's a problem. There's somebody at the court. There's somebody at the Ministry of Ghana Health Service. They are also there. So when there's a problem, they also take up that problem there to solve it.
What are the challenges that you face in your work as a social worker here?
The challenge is logistics. Logistics is the problem.
How?
Though the assembly is helping us, not much. Because the assembly, we have a lot of departments. Look at the common fund. How much was the common fund? They can't solve everybody.
So what logistics do you think you need that you don't have?
Transport. We want transport. Transport. Laptop is for somebody. This laptop is for the lady you saw here.
Okay.
There's no. We don't have.
So you don't have, let's say, any database at all, like computer or all of those things?
An NGO, UNDP, UN. They came here. They gave us a computer, full computer, and we're working on it. When there's a problem, you know, here the computer is not supposed to be here because of the sea defense. The sea waves. Yeah. We don't take it. You have a problem with them, so we put it somewhere. So when we go with there's a problem, we go there to go and type. But if there are laptop, personal, we have personal laptops that we use to type.
Okay.
So it's a problem. In transport, going to the field is also a problem. How to move. You can't take your scanty salary to be going to the field. Look at this Okada. So you have to take Okada. So you have to take Okada and go to the community. You are due to it. The whole of this year, no PESWA for the department. No PESWA. The thing is on paper, but there's no money for the work.
So you have it in the budget?
We have in the budget, and they will say the money is there. But the money is when you go there, there's no money.
Who should be held responsible for this?
No, it's assembly. The assembly, when you go, we have a budget officer, the composite budget. You prepare the composite budget, the work plan. You put the money there. The government said, last year, they went for public hearing. And they were telling them that once they said they have money for social welfare and community development, first quarter, they said 2,000. Second quarter is 6,000, which is about 60 million. First one, 20 million. Where is the money? The money is not there. And so we were telling them, what do they want us to use the money for? To go and work. There's a whole lot of problem. How to move to the field is a problem. You can't use your money to go to the field. When you are talking like that, it pains me.
Yes.
It pains me.
Yeah.
Because they said the money. We went and presented the budget hearing. They said the money. Where's the money? There's no money. The whole of 1 year. Last year, this year.
Who have you reported this
last
to?
2 years, last year, 2013, we had about 6,000. 6,000, which is 600. 600, had the whole department, 600. And community, that they made the department, formally, community involvement, we had about, I think, 500. No, it was not 500, 200 something. The social welfare is about 60. No, 6 Ghana. The whole department, 6 Ghana, 2013. How do you want the social welfare to run?
60 cities?
60 cities.
It boils down to resources. Resources is keeping institutions from executing on their mandate and impacting negatively on society. So we ask further questions. Where is the money? Is it a case of misplaced priorities, or the money is just not there? With these questions on our mind, we walked into the office of the Chief Executive Officer, John Nuruddin Ahotu.
We were talking about children who don't go to school.
Yeah.
We've been on the ground. Your social welfare department has also been on the ground. And one problem that have come up is that there are children who don't go to school but who are helping their parents work. Now, we want to find out what the social welfare is doing now. The social welfare needs money to be able to work. What are the plans in terms of budgetary allocations for the social welfare department in your district?
Okay. Your coming is a right time, and I appreciate your coming. This year, we have budget allocation for the social welfare department, because they identify some few challenges in the area. Already, when we look at the history, they are done form part of child trafficking from area. So the social welfare, the social welfare department, they are trying their possible best how they can combat that problem in the district. Really, when we look at the last year statistics, it means that there is some reduction because of the effort that they put in place.
What is the statistics saying?
Yeah, when we look at the percentage, we were dealing in percentage. So we see that there is a reduction of about that's 20% of what of the previous records. People were normally sent from Ada to Akosobo for fishing programs, but now when you look at it, they don't take children under age anymore. They look at people above 18 years that they were no more going to school. They are the people they were targeting now. Okay. So as they collect the sampling the data, we realize that there was some reduction in child trafficking in the district.
So how much? Because I understand that last year, for instance, for a whole quarter, the social welfare department had as little as 60 cities.
Yeah.
That is woefully inadequate.
Woefully inadequate. So
Terribly
is the assembly always provide all logistic to support them. For in the logistics in terms of transport, we do provide when they want to go to this thing, praise, and they need transport, they give us, they write to us, and then we give them transport, we give them fuel, we give them their allowance, and then at least allowance that can enable them, encourage them to do more. So this is what assembly.
And where do you get that money from as an assembly?
From our IGF. We have IGF. We have budgetary allocation for social welfare.
So this year, for instance, what is the allocation for them? How much?
Unless I go back to our budget, but I'm aware that we have a budgetary allocation for them. If we look at the central administration, their district director form part of the core management. from all the departments. Whatsoever you have, a problem you have, you bring it there, then we'll also look at it and then forward it to our budget officer before a budget plan.
But this doesn't look like a new phenomenon. If the people begin to feel the impacts of your work in their lives, then you as a political person, you wouldn't need to convince them too much, you know, if you want them to renew your mandate.
So when I was looking at the disabled, for instance, they heard that they nominated me to be the district chief. They were happy.
But now we still have a substantive issue of lack of resources for the social welfare department. They don't even have a computer.
You see, we have about 5 computers right now in our stores, the desktop that we want to. But our problem is the CBs.
Going forward, and your social welfare department looks like they are really committed to helping and doing the necessary follow-ups with the children and all of that. But how do they do that when they don't have money? How do they do that when they have as little as 60 cedis for 3 months?
I saw their problem be a very unique problem. And I told you that since I was a member or affiliated myself with them for some number of years, so I know their problem. So as at now, they don't have any challenge in terms of logistics. The only problem maybe still is the computer issue. The computer, we are looking forward that we'll move from here to our new site. So if we get to our new site, every office will get a computer. As at now, we have about 5.
How do you move to your new place?
Yeah, the new place, the contractor assure us December 31st December. But there was some small gap between the assembly. I'm supposed to do some commit itself, but because of finance, we just solve that problem of finance between the contractor and the assembly. So we are hopefully, if God permit, 31st January, he assures us that he will complete the place.
But I still will be happy if I get the specifics of, for instance, this year, we started a new year. So how much specifically has been allocated for the social welfare department?
I told you we treated them as a central administration body. So now let me look at human trafficking elimination. Let's say the total budget allocation from our IGF to social welfare is 16,730 Ghana cedi. For 2013, that is 2015.
2015?
Yes.
That is 16,000.
16,730 Ghana cedi for 20.
For social welfare?
Yes, for social welfare.
And community development or social welfare?
Yeah, now it's one. Now it's one.
For social welfare.
It's community development, social welfare.
And how are they distributing this money?
Yeah, so we look at it. For example, when we look at formation of community monitoring team, we have allocation for them. That is 435 Ghana cedi.
For the year? For
the year, formation, how they will go and then form the team. And then when we look at public education and sensitization on radio and community and the communities, we have 560. That is Ghana cedi for them to do education.
For the whole year?
For the whole year, yeah. Because we, based on our resources that are available, we don't have much. So the little that we have, we make sure that we distribute it equally, that every sector has its own portion.
But 400 cedis, for instance, for monitoring for social welfare department is terribly small.
Even though it's terrible, but we can manage it.
But then at the end of the day, we don't get proper monitoring.
My people, I trust them and I believe we are doing sacrificial work. And I believe that God, one day, they will reach there.
What is the problem with the money? Why is it not coming? You have a district common fund.
Yeah. The district common fund, my sister, is inadequate. Okay? And when the district common fund comes, we distribute it the project, the social welfare will tell you, we need this place, there is no school here. So we should get a school.
So more goes into infrastructure.
More go into infrastructure than human development.
But that's bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. You see, one thing is that when people judge us with what? The physical aspect.
So you want to take care of the physical aspect?
Before you come to. So then following year, we have a projection figure for them. That is double of what they are going to spend this year.
I would have thought that you want to develop the human being. You know,
we are doing both. We are trying to develop both the human being and then at the same time. But if you develop the human being and the infrastructure is not there, what will happen? Then it becomes a big problem. So you try and balance. If this year, last year for instance, we try to develop the human being. This year, there must be an infrastructure whereby we say don't send the children to Akosombo. So where should the children, at least there must be a school brought.
They say think outside the box and see how you can generate more funds to support your activities. What are you doing here at your district?
At our district, we are now, you see, the district rely on only one resource, which is the Songo. Songo is where they get all their money. But since the district was divided into two, it means that where, according to our ally, where there may be the resource will find itself, then it belongs to that district. And unfortunately, Songo find itself in the west. And
so
it's gone.
So
what we are now doing is that we are depending on our market. By then,
you take tools from them.
By then they don't. They were not seriously depending or try to put their feet on see that the market develop. You see, so it's now that we started. Actually, it's a headache, and people were not. They were not serious on how people should pay property rate and all those things. It's now that because that is where we should get our. We started the education.
What are your projections? How much do you project that you'll be getting from such an exercise?
This year we believe that we will double that of last year.
Which was?
If we look at last year, we make almost 400. I need to be, since the budget is with me here, I need to come out with what is in the budget and then. 2014, the actual is 810,000.
810,000 cedis.
So this year we are putting
10,000 cedis, new Ghana cedis.
810,000.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that is a lot of money, but
that's how much you made.
That's how much
from
we are
internally generated
alone.
And the district common fund was amount.
District common fund, you know that one. You see that it doesn't come in the actual quarters. You see, the first when we look at this year, the form that of 2014, we now receive the first quarter.
I see.
So you see that those that came, the budgeted for it and they. They started a project and all whatever comes need to pay their debt. Okay, until we get a new this thing, before you know that, oh, now you have paid your debt, so you need to award new contract and then you make provision for other activities as well.
Okay, we will leave it here. But then I want to find out briefly from you about the issue of children who don't go to school in your district. What are you telling what is your target for this year, for instance, about making sure about the number of people who are in school, the number of children who are on the streets selling, and those who are on the seashore making fishing?
Okay, as of now, I don't have the records of number of children or percentage of children in school and the percentage of children who are not in school. But I know that there was an effort that last year, that at least everybody must be in school. And it is going on. It's a project that is going on. Education, in collaboration with education, that they were doing that.
Assembly. Statistics?
The education will bring their report, but it's not yet ready because of the Christmas break and all that. So they will bring their report. If they bring their...
It's not something that you do all the time?
Yeah, normally it's something, because that is why I call for education budget, this oversight committee, and then education, Ghana Education Service file, to see whether they have new things on the file for me, but nothing. So if they come, I can actually give you the right, because they were on the ground. Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it here.
Okay.
We won't want to take so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
So we use Benedict's story to give you a bigger picture of children who are not enjoying their right to education. At the end of the day, their parents were proving a bit difficult, but we still have a little hope, at least in the Social Welfare Department, to follow up and ensure that not just Benedict, but all the other children in the district enjoy their right to education. This has been Ice Right. My name is Gifty Ando Apia. Many thanks for your time, and we look forward to seeing you next week with even more educative and informative editions.